Greetings. I am sure there are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of millions of videos of people on YouTube showing you how to play All-Star by Smash Mouth, but I'll bet you not one of them is like this one. This is the acoustic, chill, coffee shop, fancy chord, all-in-one garage door opener, beeper, pager, scanner rendition that I hope you will use to impress your friends and family, and who knows, one day maybe even thwart thine enemies. First, let's orient ourselves a little bit here. On the record, on Smash Mouth playing it, the guitar is tuned a half step down. I'm not going to bother to do that because my intention is not to play along with the record. This is for my acoustic sets and also opening my garage door and thwarting mine enemies. But what they do is they play little three-note chords. They are G, D, A minor, and C. Keeping that in mind. You could just play G, D, A minor, and C, but we're going to make some fancy substitutions. This verse section isn't too complicated. We're going to turn G into G major 7. Your pointer finger is going to go down to E2, and your pinky finger is going to get lost. With any luck, your A string will just get muted by your middle finger, so that's okay. G major 7 is chord 1. Followed by not D, but D with an F sharp in the bass. You got E2, G2, B3, and if we hear that open E string, that's cool too. That makes it a D suspended 2 with an F sharp in the bass. Next is not A minor, but A minor 7. Your G string is open. And then not C, but C major 7. Your B string is open. So we got G major 7, D with an F sharp in the bass, A minor 7, C major 7. Try that and sing it. No matter how you feel about this song, I think you'll see it in a different light when you do it like this. One more time. And notice how I put that G major 7 down in pieces. It's a hard chord to land, so I'll just hit the bass note, give it kind of a middle string strum, and by that time, the other two are down. Also helpful to mention is the ring finger from the first two chords. At least it gets to stay on the B string. That's your verse. In the real song, the chorus is all power chords. It's a G power chord, a C power chord, and then this curious thing, do A4, D5, G6. This is a power chord with the middle note flattened. That's a flattened fifth. This is like a diminished power chord. More on that in a second. And then you go back to the C. So the root note, the bass note of all the chords goes... And here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with G major 7, just like before. Then we're going to play C major 7, but we're not playing it here, we're going to play it here. A3, D5, G4, B5. And I promise you there's a really good reason we're doing it here, and that good reason is the next chord we're going to play is C sharp diminished 7. From this C major 7, all you have to do is put your middle finger on A4 and your pointer finger on G3. We won't hear either E string. And then right back to C major 7. So, G major 7, C major 7, C sharp diminished 7, back to major 7. One more time. Only shooting stars. We're going to do something really cool. And that is this. Take a normal old C chord and add your pinky finger to the E string 3rd fret. Now, that's a G note, and adding a G note doesn't change the C-ness. Good thing there's no P chord. Of this C chord, there's already a G note in there. It's the open G string. So whether you have E or G, it's just a C chord. There's no other way to say it. Anyways, this C chord, but we're going to put it on the 8th, 9th, and 10th fret, rendering it a G chord. C, D, E, F, G, down 2 frets to F, and then all the way down to original position. C is the last chord. So here is your entire chorus. Bow. For your chorus. Helpful to mention is that the whistling part is the chorus progression we just talked about. Ah yes, it's the old awkward kazoo for just a little bit too long trick. The second time I've fallen for it this week. Those are all the pieces, so go use your earballs and figure out which one goes where when, but there's a certain somebody who wants to tell you a little bit about a certain something, which means yes, it's time for another edition of
What's the Lesson Here? Starring Miss Poopadoo.
Yeah, okay, check it out. Welcome to the classroom. It's been here all along, behind the yellow curtain. There are so many tasty tidbits to dive into, but baby steps, get on the elevator. Each time we're just going to focus on one little thing. And today it's those 2 voicings of C major 7, the 2 different ways to play the same chord. Why, what the heck, and how. Here I have listed the notes of the C major scale. This is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. If you start on C, and normal chords without a funny word or number after them, are made up of the 1, in this case C, the 3, in this case E, and the 5, in this case G, from their major scale. So a normal C chord is made up of at least 1 C, at least 1 E, and at least 1 G. Now, major 7 chords, you guessed it, add the 7th note of their major scale. So we're going to check it, but in theory, each of these 2 ways to play C major 7 should have at least 1 C, at least 1 E, at least 1 G, and at least 1 B. Let's see. The first voicing is the easiest to figure out because it's down by the nut, so we don't have to count very far in the strings, right? The A string 3rd fret is A sharp, B, C, looking good so far. D2 is D, D sharp, E. The open G string is easy. There, we're done. You only need those 3 to make a C chord, but it continues with an open B string, obviously B, and an open E string, obviously B. So we fulfilled our duty here, or this chord shape has rather. It has at least one of everything we needed to have in order to be declared a C major 7 chord. Fun with clicker buttons. The other one, it's a little farther away from the nut, so if you're not super familiar with the fretboard up in that zone, you'll just have to take my word for it. But the A string 3rd fret, it's the same thing. Remember, that's the 3rd fret, is C. We've got the D string 5th fret, which is G. Then we've got the G string 4th fret, that's our B note. So, different voicing already, meaning the notes appear in different orders. Then we've got the B string 5th fret, if you've ever relatively tuned, meaning played the string above in the 5th fret to make the next one match, you'll realize that the B string 5th fret is indeed E, and then the E string 3rd fret is G. Hooray, hooray, hooray. 2 ways to play C major 7. And one more hooray. That's all either of us can think of to say about that. And of course, I did this to honor the passing of Steve Harwell. Not hooray about that, but I hope you all enjoyed that. Get it under your fingers. Let me know what you think, regardless of how you feel about this song. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that was fun and helpful, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.